All right, it seems like everyone's talking about manifesting success, wealth, and love, but most of what you see online, manifestation and mysticism or magic, is dead wrong. Today I'll show you what manifestation really is, backed by science, and how to use it as a high achiever in real life to move results. If you care about results more than fluff, you're in the right place, so let's dive in. So part one is just what manifestation usually means and where it goes wrong. So the popular definition in many mainstream self-help spins, manifestation is framed as think positive, feel good, and the universe just magically brings it to you. You got vision boards, affirmations, scripting, and waiting. That's often what people try first. Now the problem is there's no action, there's no alignment, and there's no system, there's just hope. This version tends to lead to frustration. You feel like, hey, I visualized it, why is nothing happening? But what real grounded manifestation could mean, let's move into what real grounded manifestation could mean. Let's define it more carefully, okay? Manifestation equals turning an idea or desire into a lived reality by aligning your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and actions towards that outcome. Manifest means to make visible, to bring into being. It's not a magic wand. It's a mental physical alignment process. And the missing link in the popular version is action plus internal coherence. So in 2023 study, Psychology of Belief and Manifestation, they surveyed over 1,000 participants and created a manifestation scale. They found that people scoring high on manifestation belief also tended to have stronger aspirations, perceived themselves as more successful, and believed they achieved more. However, interestingly, those same high belief people were also more likely to engage in risky investments and have experienced bankruptcy, right? The belief system has both functional and risky edges. This suggests belief is powerful, but not all belief is safe or wise. From a neuroscience angle, when you consistently think about a goal, your brain begins to rewire itself, making neural pathways attuned to recognizing possibilities and opportunities aligned with that goal. And James Doty, a neurosurgeon, argues in his recent work that manifestation works by embedding the intention deep into your brain's networks, so your subconscious began scanning your environment for evidence of that particular goal. In short, your brain begins to bias attention and perception towards what supports your intention. And this is all part of the brain's reticular activating system. It's a part of the brain that notices things that you focus on. It's like when you buy a red car, all of a sudden you see red cars everywhere. That's not coincidence, that's just where your focus is. So that's the evidence that we're referring to. All right, let's get into what the critics warn us about, okay? Critics point out that belief alone doesn't guarantee success. Manifestation, as just think good thoughts, has no scientific backing. All right, a British Psychological Society article notes that strong belief in manifestation is correlated with higher risk of negative outcomes, like debt or over-optimism. And some argue that the belief in cosmic collaboration, the universe will do it, can lead to passivity or blame when outcome doesn't manifest. So manifestation isn't purely mystical. It lives at the intersection of mindset, perception, and action. And the hype is what gets distorted. All right, so let's get into part two now, how real manifestation works. And this is a layered model, okay? So to use manifestation effectively, not naively, think in layers. Each layer must be aligned. So layer one is identify the belief system. What do you believe about yourself? E.g., like I'm a creator, I deserve results, I can grow. If your identity is at odds with your goals, nothing sticks. Now, rewiring beliefs often means rewriting your internal narratives and working through limiting beliefs. Layer two is thoughts and emotions. Thoughts are the content, emotions are the energy. When your thoughts and feelings match your goal, you feel what you feel after you've achieved it, your internal state is put on the same channel as the desired result. So this is where visualization, affirmations, and internal rehearsal can help, not as magic, but as training your internal hardware. Layer three is perception and attention bias. Because your brain is wired to detect what's important, once you fix your intention in your brain, you'll begin noticing opportunities, cues, peoples, and resources you overlooked before. This shift in perception is part of how manifestation works in real life, by filtering what gets through your radar. Layer four is action and feedback loop. This is the non-negotiable. Action, all right? You need aligned action. Steps that correspond to your goals. Learning, networking, testing, investing, effort. We need to take action. We can't just think it, want it, wish it, do it, okay? Action is key. Feedback loops, so you need to observe, adjust, and iterate, and refine the process. This is a process. This isn't a one and done, one size fits all. And when everything else is aligned, your actions become more guided, efficient, and purposeful. So manifestation becomes identity, internal coherence, perception filter, aligned actions, and then outcomes. All right, part 3 is how to actually use real manifestation. This is like a step-by-step guide, okay? So let me walk you through a practical 5-step process you can plug into your entrepreneurial high-performance life. Step 1, clarify the vision and intention. And you want to be specific. I want more money is weak. I want to earn $200,000 net this year in my business is more precise. And understand the why you want it. What's the purpose and the emotion? That gives it internal fuel. Frame as present tense. I am doing this. By the way, the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, which could be a whole other episode. So we don't want to say, I want to make. It's, I am making this on this date. Be very specific and precise. Step 2 is assess beliefs and identity blocks. We can't grow unless we assess this. This is a critical component. So you want to list beliefs that conflict with, I'm not worthy of that income, others need it more, you can't have it all, right? Anything that you were taught, your inherited scripts, all these things going around your mind as to why you can't do it. We need to list those conflicts. Use journaling, therapy, or coaching to excavate these and elevate them and to talk about them out loud to actually reframe them later. Replace with new empowering beliefs, and you want to write, repeat, and embody them. There's a great decision matrix tool that you can use where literally you're writing your limiting belief, your empowering belief, and then you're going to write an evidence log of everything that supports your new empowering belief, and you're going to repeat that every single day. So step 3 is internal rehearsal and emotional calibration. So visualization and mental rehearsals, you got to see yourself doing the actions, not just receiving the outcome. Use embodied practices like breath work, emotional anchoring to feel real what you intend to actually feel once you've accomplished that particular goal. And consistency matters. Daily or regular practice to help rewire neural circuits. So I'll give an example of like the mental rehearsal. Let's say that your goal is to become president of the United States. You don't want to just say, I want to become president or I am the president. You want to envision your wife putting on your tie as you're about to go up to do your acceptance speech. And then you see your kids in the front row and they're smiling at you and you're feeling how that would feel. And if you don't necessarily connect to that emotion yet, you can always think back to times that, hey, when did I feel really good? And if I can associate that feeling to what that's going to feel like when that particular goal happens, that's the emotional connection. That's the coherence. Step 4 is activate selective perception. So you want to cultivate the mindset to spot opportunities. Ask yourself, what should I see now that I historically missed? And be curious. Open to small signals, one little connection, a nudge, a resource. You find a dollar bill in your couch, that's evidence that everything is coming to you, okay? It can be big or small. And what I would say is that if you can't find evidence all the time in your own life, look for inspiration outside of your life. Look at people that have done what you want to do, and they show you that it's possible, and they become your evidence. All right, step 5 is take aligned action and iterate. Identify the smallest next step. Momentum is built from micro actions. So you want to monitor results, what's working, what's not, adjust beliefs, internal state, or tactics along the way. And the process is really dynamic. Manifestation isn't just set it and forget it. So as you come across things, one big lesson I want you to take away from this is that problems aren't actually problems. Problems are contrasts. They're opportunities. What could you learn from them? What's the gift from this? What's a redirection happening from this? And then you want to iterate. But when you're coming from an iteration perspective, from a powerful state, knowing that, hey, this is a good thing. I'm glad this happened. I don't even know why it happened, and I'm not really super happy that it happened, but I'm willing to have faith that it happened for a reason beyond what I can understand today, because I have evidence that things have happened in my life previously, and they position me for my greater good. So we want to continue to do a feedback loop, but come from it in a really positive manner. All right, so part 4 is common pitfalls and course corrections. Knowing what can go wrong helps you calibrate. So 1 is overemphasis on mysticism and underemphasis on work. This is oftentimes when people are like listening to the podcast, reading the book, and feeling good, but not actually doing the work, right? It's like, I feel good when I'm listening to this, but I don't really want to do all the actual steps of it. All right, pitfall number 2 is confirmation bias and magical thinking. You might start seeing coincidences and try to force them into meaning, but you got to use discernment. Not everything is confirmation, and not every connection is your manifestation. All right, pitfall number 3 is toxic self-blame when it didn't work. So if you tell someone that they didn't manifest because their belief wasn't strong, that can be dangerous. And life has many variables like timing, resources, external constraints. Use failed attempts as feedback, not personal failures. All All right, pitfall number 4 is excessive risk-taking over confidence. Now, I'm all about everyone being confident in their abilities and moving forward, especially like feeling the fear and doing it anyway. But we have to be careful. There's studies that show a correlation between strong manifestation belief and risk-taking, and sometimes like overly so. So don't be such a big risk taker. Take calculated risks, stretch your fear or stretch like your comfort level, but just be aware of this. Be smart. Let your belief fuel your boldness, not your recklessness. All right, so part 5 is an example walkthrough. We're just going to apply this to a regular goal. So let's just do a little mini case, all right? So let's say you want to scale your business to hit a certain revenue milestone, like double revenue in 12 months. So number 1, vision and intention. We always start here. So it could be, my business is growing from $200,000 a year to $400,000 or $500,000 a year in January 1st, 2026. So I can invest in my team and my impact. Number 2 is you're going to now set a belief audit and reprogramming. So the old belief is maybe I'm limited by time and only I can do all the work. The new belief is I can multiply impact through systems and people, and I trust the process. So then you're going to use journaling, reading, affirmation work, and identity statements. All right, number 3 is internal rehearsal. You're going to visualize having a team, systems, clients signing, clients giving you money. You're going to feel the relief. You're going to have the pride, the joyful feelings, right? You're going to have daily short visualizations plus emotional anchoring, the touching, the breathing, the embodiment of everything that you'd be feeling and doing and seeing once you accomplish that goal. All right, number 4 is selective perception. This is when you start to notice like more business opportunities. You're having conversations with people and you're like, oh man, I just thought about this thing and then I met this person. And these are like collaborations that you previously were ignoring. You're going to start to see patterns and openings and signals align with that growth and with that vision. And number 5 is aligned action and iteration. So test a new offer, run a new campaign, hire a junior, and systematize. You're going to then track metrics, get feedback, and adjust. And if it's a marketing channel that's not working, you're going to pivot. But you stay adaptive because now you know you're in the process and you have contrast is building you into the person you need to become to achieve the goal you want to achieve. You'll find over time that your internal coherence of perception and action loop actually accelerates the progress. All right, part 6 is metrics and signals that you're manifesting right. Okay, so what signals tell you that this is working beyond just wishful thinking? You begin to see opportunities you missed before. You feel resonance and internal alignment, not dissonance or forced motivation. Your actions are clearer and more decisive and more consistent. And you're learning faster. You're going to iterate faster. And you begin to attract collaborations and resources and feedback. And you progress, even small, it all accumulates. So if instead you feel burnout, confusion, and guilt, those are red flags to realign your beliefs, reduce the noise, or course correct. And the final part here is the reframe and empowerment. Here's the core shift. Manifestation isn't magic. It's alignment engineering. It's an inside-out architecture more than an outside-in demand. Now, the universe doesn't just owe you results, right? You earn them through internal clarity and external execution. But when you align your internal system, your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, with the outcome you want, your brain becomes a sophisticated search engine for opportunities and pathways that you just couldn't see before. And that gives you leverage. It's the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and it'll shrink. You don't hustle blindly, you move with directions, feeling, and emotion. So here's my question to you. Are your beliefs, thoughts, and habits all pointing towards the life you say you want? If they're not aligned, you're going to fight yourself the entire way. It's like driving with the brakes on. And if you've just been manifesting or listening to things but not connecting with all these other components that we've been going through, that's the reason it hasn't been working. I'm a testament to like not doing it right for the first decade of my life and then to doing it right and seeing, oh my gosh, that's why it wasn't working and now it's working. And I trust in it. I don't doubt this process anymore. So type a line in the comments if you're ready to rewire internal architecture. I want to see a whole flood of the comment align, or let me know what other manifestation tips worked for you or what you're struggling with. And if you found value in this episode, please subscribe, like, follow so I can help you build real alignment and really move away from like manifestation fluff so you can scale with clarity, confidence, and impact, and finally just start to live the great life you deserve. I'll see you in the next video.